that's enough, I guess, from right here. Yes, Hickok 45, sporting another Ed Brown. This one, not mine this time. This one is a T&E pistol that the Brown family sent me. I've requested. Glad to have it. It's called the Special Forces. So let's take a look at it and let's just shoot it some. All right. Not a lot of mysteries about the Ed Brown 1911s. Just about anybody that knows high quality custom 1911s knows that that Wilson Combat, Ed Brown, Les Baer, Nighthawk, did I leave anybody out? They all make great guns, and Ed Brown in particular. These are really quality pieces, and obviously I would not have bought the Cobra Carry several years back if I did not like them. And I have it out here. I'm not going to shoot it probably, but just a nice little pistol. Another example of high quality 1911ism. And of course, that's one of the questions, you know, do you really need to spend $2,500, $3,000 for a 1911 to get what you want? Well, no, you don't, but some people do. And I tell you, I've talked to Wilson Combat. You know, they sent us a T&E shotgun. You know, was that been a couple years ago, I guess, already? Talked to them about 1911, and I think they might. I'm not sure. You know, the problem with these custom companies like this is they can't fill their orders fast enough. You know, it's a nice problem to have, and when you got $3,000 pistols, but they really can't. They have a hard time keeping up. So they're not necessarily interested much in promotion. So, but you know, I'd eventually like to get a Nighthawk and a Les Baer. I've had Ed Brown, and I think I might get a Wilson at some point. But just, I guess, to compare in a way, but they're all just really high quality. It's not like there's a big difference in terms of the way they're made and the quality. Now, they would all maintain that, you know, that each company does it the best, of course. And boy, anything you read about Ed Brown, almost anything you read, they are really well made. So let's take a couple more shots before we look at it a little more closely, because I happen to have a couple of magazines here. I think I had one stuck in my pocket, and ooh, look at that ammo. Thanks to Federal, we appreciate them furnishing the food for this high dollar 1911. Oh boy, 230 grain, and that's what they like. That's what I like. Let's put it back in the holster here, the gun sight holster. I've had that for, oh, what, 25 years? Still works, if I do. Ooh, a 2-liter. Whoa. Did I get all the 2 liters? There's a pot that needs smoking. Yeah, man. Oh, man, the trigger is nice. I think I'm going to pop the Cowboy over that cinder block. Yeah. Nice. How about that red? Nice sights, nice trigger. That's what you get when you pay the big bucks. I tell you, you get a heck of a trigger. Speaking of pots. And 2-liter. So sweet. I'll tell you what, that is a one nice trigger. Those of you who have fired a 1911 that has a really nice trigger, you know what I'm talking about. In fact, a lot of them out of the box these days have a pretty good trigger. But you know, when you buy a custom gun like this, you get an incredible trigger, generally speaking. I mean, you should, right? For that kind of money. So we'll lay it down there a second. Nice looking gun. I particularly am fond of 1911s like this. That it really, at first glance, if this was on a display case, you would think, okay, is that a Colt? What is that? Oh, that's an Ed Brown. Because it's not all dressed up, not all gussied up with a lot of extras. You know, you don't have a rail, and you don't have serrations out here on the front of the slide. You have what I say, in my opinion, for me, I'm speaking for myself, it has everything you need, you know, and not much that you don't need. It has, well, nothing you don't need probably. It doesn't have a lot of things that you don't need. I like the stippling, the really nice checkering, but it's just done a little bit differently there. You get a real, and the grips are phenomenal. You get an incredible grasp on it. The grip, it just locks in, but yet it doesn't hurt your hand. I like that. It just makes a world of difference. And you know, your sights, your Novak sights there, of course, night sights, your beaver tail. Now I think this has one of the famous Ed Brown high ride beaver tails. You know, I think he puts his own beaver tails on it. I think he might. Yeah, man, back when I started shooting IPSC in the late 80s, that was I'm not sure how far it goes back, but I know he came up with that. And I guess he patented early on that high ride beaver tail was the thing. That's what everybody wanted on their gun. Once I felt one of these, I didn't want anything else on my Series 70, because I had a gunsmith doctor it up and put Bomar sights on, which everybody was putting on at the time. And I had to have an Ed Brown high ride, you know, beaver tail, so you get your hand up high on it. And that's how they got started, as I understand, making quality gun parts, and then started making firearms. But that was the ticket, boy. And to this day, and the reason I have this Rock Island Armory out here, because it doesn't have the Ed Brown on it, but it has a kind of a similar one, you know. And they know that that's what people want. They want a grip to get your hand up as high as you can. And once you've had one of these, some of the other types of extended beaver tails, even if they're pretty nice, look nice, and feel pretty good to the average person, they don't feel as good as one of these, because you get up a little higher. Just wonderful feel. And of course, the other reason I have the Rock Island Armory out here is, if you notice these two pistols, we're not going to do a big comparison here. That would be funny, wouldn't it? A farce, I guess. But they have a lot of the same features, you know, as you look at them. And there's really not any difference. You reckon? I mean, look. I mean, this gun's about $450. This one's at least $2,500. Yeah. So, you know, this one's overpriced, a couple $1,000s, right? Some of you would agree, but only if you're really ignorant. And I use that term, you know, as it should be used. If you just don't know the difference, yeah, you might say that, because that gun looks like it has a lot of the same parts. But the difference is, and again, I'm not selling Ed Browns. I like 1911s, okay. I don't really carry one. The reason I got this was I really had a yen for a high quality 1911 and thought I might carry it. And I have a few times, but generally speaking, I don't. I stick to the same manual of arms. But I know if I want to, you know, get that sudden urge, got to carry a 1911 this week. Yeah, I've got a really good one here. I've got a great one, okay? The bobtail, which Ed Brown also trademarked, I think, and came up with. But just a nice little package, all right, if I want to. But I lost track of what I was saying. Probably wasn't important. But no, I wanted a really high quality 1911 maybe that had the best high ride beaver tail on it and everything. It just felt great, and that's why I ended up with that. But not a lot of extras that I didn't really want. I don't like full-length guide rods, as you know, and that's one thing I like about most of the Ed Browns don't have that. I don't think he really cares for them that much either, but some people actually want them, and he has one that he puts on some of his custom pistols. I think it's a two-piece, and it's not quite so hard to get out. But you see, this one doesn't have it. It's got the standard kind of the GI plug and guide rod and everything, spring, which I prefer. And a lot of people just might even laugh at that. You're gonna pay $2,500, $3,000 for a pistol, and you don't even have a full-length guide rod. But I don't really like those, to tell you the truth. So this pistol, it has the basics that make it just really, really shootable. Good grip. You got the beaver tail, commander hammer, get up high on it. You got nice sights. You got night sights. This one doesn't have the ambi thumb safety, which I like. I like the fact it does not have it. But it's just kind of a minimalist custom gun, really. Great. It's a great gun. Let's take a couple more shots. Do I have any more ammo? Let me load a magazine here so I can shoot more than I gab, because you don't want to hear me gab, do you? So like I was saying, I'm glad to be able to get another Ed Brown on the table here, the Special Forces. And, you know, I'd like to have the thing. It is neat. It is really sweet. Great shooter. They're expensive, and you know what you get with that. Well, I load these mags. Let me talk to you a little bit about it. The things you don't get with a gun like this is you don't get the almost everything in here comes from, you know, forged material, forged steel, and it's cut out, you know, in a precision way. It's hand fitted. You know, the guns are tested and tested, as I understand, by people in the Brown family. You know, so the guns generally just don't get out of there when they don't work. I'm sure there's exceptions, but that's what you get. You can machine certain parts, or you can stamp out certain parts that look the same. You know, from mold injected metal and different things, and you can get a nice gun that actually is pretty reliable. But it's kind of like cars, I guess. You can get a car for $15,000. It'll get you where you want to go, and even maybe be pretty reliable. But then again, you can get a car for $80,000 or $100,000. It'll get you where you want to go. Maybe you don't need it, but if money is not an object, you know, then, you know, it might be something that a person saves up for and wants. I don't know. So kind of like these guns. And it has been concluded by some that if you are going to carry a 1911, maybe it should be one of your goals to obtain a custom 1911, because you're going to increase your reliability factor. I have one more magazine somewhere, but I guess it's not essential that I have it. Did y'all see where I put it? Did y'all find it? Did y'all find it for me somewhere? I'll bet you. Oh, there it is in my pocket, see? Senility. You knew it would hit me sooner or later. Actually, it hit me a long time ago. That's why y'all watch. Makes you feel smart, see? Doesn't it? You see me, hear me, you think, wow, I used to think I was really average intelligence. Now you feel like a genius, right? All right, got some of my old school mag pouches. These here I used back in the 80s when I was doing a little IPSC game there. All right, pretty cool. It really is neat having this gun at the compound. Guns like this, because these are hard to get. Like I say, people that make these guns in this caliber, I mean that, the pun intended, this level of quality, you know, they're just in demand. And you got to wonder, I know it sounds crazy, guns that cost $2,500, $3,000, you mean they can't make them fast enough? That's right, most of these are back ordered. I don't know what the Brown's back order list looks like, but you'll hear things like a year, you know, to get one if you wanted to order one. And I don't know where they stand right now, but anyway, it is a lot of money, but you've got, again, basically all forgings and hand fitted, and just high quality. You can tell when you work it and pull the slide back and the trigger and everything. Now, sure as I say that, it's going to malfunction, right? Nothing's perfect. It hasn't yet, I'll have to say. Let's put some on the gong. Here. All right. If it can't hit the gong, then it is. It's not worth $25. It's less $2,500. Of course, I have something to do with that. I could just miss it with anything. Ah, it feels good. Nice trigger. Just to show you this, look at this barrel here. I mean, there's something about it. It just makes you want to cut loose with it. It really does. Even on a hot day when you're perspiring like crazy. Speaking of that, Mr. Watermelon, you know it is pretty hot, and watermelon always tastes good on a day like today. And Mr. Cinderblock. Needs a little 45 action on it. Oh, sweet. Sweet, sweet. Oh boy. 45. Feels good out of this gun. There's nothing about this thing. It doesn't feel like it was just it's still just a little bit tight because it's brand new. Oh man. And it just feels great. You got just the right amount of texture on those grips. When you lock in, you are locked in. You feel like you could be in the special forces going into combat, right? If you buy one of these, you're a true soldier. Just Gorgeous gun. You might not think it's all that gorgeous. I know I go on and on about guns like this, whether it's a Colt or an Ed Brown or anything, that in this configuration, this is really what I prefer. Exactly what this gun has on it. That's what I like. Just give me one with this. I am happy. Great trigger and everything you need. Sweet. Let's shoot a little bit more. Y'all in a hurry, you need to get away. Let's load up and shoot just a little bit more. Oh, good. I got one magazine loaded. So I don't know if we'll end up with the other custom guns or not. I have a feeling I might end up with a Wilson Combat at some point. And well, someone might just loan us one, some individual. That's always a possibility too. But you know, from those companies, I'm just not sure. I'd like to do it sometime, even though I don't know, not a lot of you are necessarily shopping for an Ed Brown, you know, 1911 or less fair or anything else. But these are cool. And as I always do, I've been around the forums and researching, and of course I've done that over the years because I bought one myself a few years back. But obviously you're going to find something negative about these guns, like you can find about anything, whether it's a Rolls Royce or whatever. But by and large, it's there's an immense amount of respect for Ed Brown pistols. People who really know 1911s, you can tell. And of course you do run across the occasional, you know, sorehead that's had trouble with theirs. It is a machine, but just an incredible amount of respect for the way they go about making them. And you can read that for yourself, and the machinery and how they go about it, but it's a pretty impressive shop apparently. So we've got some magazines. Let's just shoot it some more. Again, this is if you didn't notice, this is in my exuberance for such a fine pistol, it is your basic, you know, 5-inch government model, you know, configuration and size, just like most of them. It's just a little bit different in construction and then trigger, feel, and everything. Pretty nice, pretty nice. All right, what have we not shot? You know what we haven't done? I think we ought to knock over an animal or two, or try to. All right, this is nice. This is when I was doing the IPSC game. I shot mostly stock, limited class and guns like this. For a year or two, I played around in open class with a compensated 38 Super, like everybody was doing, just a little bit. But mainly, this is what I shot, or this or a Glock, a gun in this exact configuration, pretty much. It was a Colt, but this is what it was. You know, so the way, the feel it had, and the parts it had, pretty much. Except they weren't all Ed Brown parts. The beaver tail was. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to try to, since we've got 45 slugs, let's try a turkey, since they don't want to fall sometimes. Come on now. I'm going to get the 45-70 out for that guy. Let's try the one next to it. Yeah. And more ammo, yeah. Well, I've got sweat in my eyes and everything here, but I'm going to try to struggle through. Let's go for a pig up there on the top row. There we go. Since we've got an Ed Brown, let's try for the chicken. And I'm going to put a couple more on that turkey. I'm not going to give up on him. Thought I rocked him. That's why I've got to get a 45-70 out here on the table. Okay, what have I got? 2 mags. Let's go down here and play some more. All right, let's wrap this baby up. God, it's so hot. I think I'm just gushing perspiration. Let me clean my glasses off here before I shoot a little bit more. Actually, I'm really not uncomfortable when I'm perspiring, other than just when it gets in your eyes. I know sometimes in the video you see me water dripping off of me, my shirt wet and everything, and you think, wow, he must be miserable. Nah, that's just Tennessee weather. It's just a matter of the old sweat in the eyes. Sometimes it becomes a little nuisance. All right, let's just empty these 2 mags here and play a little bit. Like I don't do that much of anymore, but I see some targets, so let's just pull and shoot. Sweet. Oh man, I tell you, there's nothing like a 1911 with a great trigger. And I know these guns, the 1911s, get a lot of flack, and people do videos and badmouth them, and hopefully they can get views by making fun of them. One of the most popular guns, you know, on the planet, just like they do Glocks or SIGs or anything else. And I'm not saying they're the thing that everybody needs to own. If you don't like 1911s, fine. I don't carry them, you know, as I've said before, anymore, much at all. But they're just fun to shoot. They're just great guns, and they're great for competition. They're just interesting machines. They're historical. Did you know that? They're historical. And it's kind of neat when somebody makes one that is such high quality in the materials used, the metal, you know, the forgings and everything. I think right down almost to the last spring, and hand fitted, that someone actually, you know, goes to that trouble and does that. You know, kind of like I was saying about the BAR we had out here recently. You know, it's just neat that someone does that. I can't do it. You know, I don't have the money to start up a shop and to do that. So it's just neat that someone does it, whatever it costs. And whether you or I would ever even consider buying one, it's just so cool that it exists. And that a gun like this is out there that is, you know, again, what some people would consider maybe the ultimate 1911, okay? And I'm not saying Ed Brown's are the ultimate, but theirs and the Wilson Combats, Les Baer, you know, the Nighthawk, those companies, I'm probably leaving somebody out, but just go the extra mile to make an incredible version, sample of the old classic 1911. It's just really cool that somebody's doing that. So what else can I say except they're just really nice guns. I still really love my Cobra Carry. Don't shoot it as much as I should. And this one in the full length, it feels really good. Shoots great, great trigger, that's all I can say. So everybody rush out and buy one, right? Life is good.